Hello mga students, good morning, good afternoon, good evening sa inyong lahat. Allow me to continue my discussions on the review questions on our material on past 2 on inventories. And together with the old materials that I have that I use for basic accounting. So gamitin po natin yon, or let me present it to you so that I can explain clearly these questions on cost formulas or yung ating mga costing methods. Okay? So allow me to present my screen so that we'll be able to identify the questions and answer accordingly. So in the previous video lecture, we were able to answer questions 1 to 7 on inventory inclusions and exclusions, no? Also tackling yung ating mga special items sa inventory. So for the next few questions naman, let's talk first about cost formulas. So dito po sa question number 8, meron po tayong question on asking for the ending inventory using the weighted average cost formula, and if the inventory system that we use is periodic. Tandaan po ninyo under inventories, under this discussion or under this topic, meron po tayong dalawang klase ng inventory system. Ito po ay naaral na rin as early as basic accounting when we account for the merchandising operations. Meron tayong periodic inventory system, meron tayong perpetual inventory system. So, just to recap lamang po, under a periodic inventory system, nagbibilang po tayo, physically ng inventories para malaman po natin magkano yung ending. Kasi kapag merong mga bentahan throughout the year, hindi po natin ina-account kung magkano yung lumabas na inventory at magkano yung value nun. Kino-consider lamang po natin yung benta, tapos sa dulo ng taon, bibilangin natin yun yung ending inventory, ibabawas natin doon sa beginning plus yung mga purchases natin for the period. Samantalang pag perpetual inventory system, normally ito yung may mga maayos na accounting system, accounted for yung bawat galaw ng ating mga inventory items. Okay, either periodic or perpetual, meron po tayong first in first out or weighted average. But before we answer this question, allow me to stop sharing this one and revisit lamang po natin yung aking old material. Ito po ay shinare ko din sa inyo. Okay? Especially yung aking mga actual students. So, in-explain ko po ito doon sa aking basic accounting ng mga video lectures na meron po tayong apat na klase. Although sabi ko rin naman, etong LIFO, hindi po ito ina-allowed sa Philippine setting. Pero in the US, ginagamit pa rin po nila yung LIFO. In fact, may mga questions ako na nakikita pero for US GAAP na applicable pa rin itong LIFO. What we have, ginagamit po natin ay itong first in, first out at saka yung average. And then yung specific identification naman kasi yung cost ng inventory ay specifically identified to a certain product or to certain products. So, nandirito po meron akong separate recording dito. Yun nga lang medyo may kalumaan na po yung video lecture na yon, but still it's useful pa rin naman. No, yung manner of delivery, kung ano man yung itsura ko doon, it doesn't matter. What's important is the content of my delivery. It's still applicable up to this point, even though it was recorded how many years ago? 3 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so let's go back to the question. I also have this, no? I gave this to my actual students, to you who were the intended recipients of this video lecture. Asa na yon? Ba't hindi ko nakikita? Eto. Ayan, I shared this Excel file to you para maipakita po dito yung FIFO perpetual, even discussing LIFO, but again, this is irrelevant in the Philippine setting. So, focus kayo sa FIFO perpetual, average perpetual, FIFO periodic, and even the average periodic. Pero mamaya, let's try to come back into this material. Pero sagutan na po natin yung ating question number 8. Okay. Tingnan po ninyo ha. Si entity A, which is a trading entity. So nasa merchandising type of business to. So buy and sell yung kanyang business model. In the month of February, ito yung movement ng kanyang merchandise inventory. Meron kang beginning, 100 units, tapos 15 peso kada isang unit. Yung mga inventories mo, ano, syempre sa balance sheet, yung total peso value, magkano yun. Pero per purchases, okay, maaring magkakaiba yung mga presyuhan ng mga yon. So we need to account magkano natin ito nabili, ilang peraso yung binili natin. So we are tracking the flow of your physical inventory, physical flow of your inventory at magkano yung cost ng mga yon, ano. On February 7, nag-purchase din tayo ng 300 units. Magkano kada isa? 18 pesos. While on February 12, nakapagbenta tayo ng 320 units. Tapos, noong February 21, bumili po tayo 200 units. Nabili natin ito 21 pesos kada isa. Ang tinatanong, using your weighted average under a periodic inventory system, magkano yung ending inventory? Okay? Class. Ah, careful po tayo dito. Ano? Pag weighted average at saka pag periodic, mabilisan lang po ito. Madali lang natin ito ina-account. Ang gagawin lang natin dyan, kunin mo muna lahat ng mga units, ng mga available for sale units. Ilang piraso sila. From the beginning, meron kang 100, bumili ka ng 300. Okay? Bumili ka ng 200. Magkano yun lahat? 600 sila lahat. Tama ba? O tapos, kung meron akong 600, 600 yung total, kailangan ko rin naman malaman itong 600 units, no? Magkano kabuuan? 100 times 15, meron kang 1.5. 300 times 18 kung magkano man yun. 200 times 21 kung magkano man yun. And then, we will arrive at the certain peso value. Okay? For this 600 units. Since simple average lang po, no, weighted average under a periodic inventory system is simple average. Kung magkano yung total cost nitong 600 units, divide mo sa 600. So, ang mangyayari class, no, ito yung magiging denominator mo. Tapos, dito, meron kang, lagyan natin ng ano, panghati. So, ito yung total cost mo, no? Yung peso value, kung magkano man yan, ito yung denominator mo, kunin mo magkano yung per unit. Okay? Per unit cost, no? Average cost na siya. Average cost per unit. Okay? Kung magkano man po yan, yan yung gagamitin mo in accounting for the ending inventory at saka yung cost of goods sold. Kasi po, ano, under a periodic inventory system, ulitin ko lang, hindi po natin ina-account yung ending, hindi mo ina-account yung mga sales mo or yung cost of goods sold mo. Malaman mo yan pag nag-recompute ka sa dulo. Okay? So, nag-physical count ka, nalaman mo, ito yung number of ending inventories ko. Oh, yung difference ng available for sale na units minus yung ending inventory, yun yung cost of goods sold mo. Like in this case, kung 600 units lahat ng mga nabili mo, kasama na yung beginning nung nakaraan, eh nakapagbenta ka ng 320, eh di 600 minus 320, o di magkano yun? Eh di 280 units yung aking sold units. Okay? O presenting the answer, ang sagot po natin dito ay letter A. O, ito na yun ha. Yung kanina na ina-account po natin, yung total ng 600 units, ang halaga po nila ay 11,100. Eh magkakaiba po yan ng presyo eh. Okay? So average po nitong mga to, 11,100 divided by 600, eto na. 18 pesos and 50 centavos. Yun yung pinakamadali class, no? Kasi to total mo na yung cost, to total mo yung units, i-divide mo sila, yung makukuha mo na answer doon, that is the average cost per unit. Tapos, multiply mo sa 320 kung sakaling yung tinatanong cost of goods sold. Multiply mo sa 280, yung natitirang ending inventory, edi eto 5,180. Yan yung ating ending inventory. Okay? So, ganyan po ano yung ating cost formula for simple average. on a periodic basis. Sir, pwede po ba yan sa manufacturing setting? Yung mga cost formula at kung pwede, saan ito mas applicable? Unang sagot, yes, applicable din po yan sa mga manufacturing setting. And saan ito applicable? O applicable din ito doon sa mga raw materials na gagamitin sa production. When there are multiple purchases, fluctuating, paiba-iba yung presyo, o pag ginamit na sa production, magkano na. So raw materials na issued in production. At saka magkano yung raw materials ending. Okay? I hope this is clear. Proceed po tayo sa next question. Question number 9. Mm. Same ba ito? Yes, same. Pero, in this question, ang tinatanong ngayon, ending inventory pa rin under the weighted average. Pero, on the assumption that we are using perpetual inventory system. Sir, nasaan yung perpetual dyan? Parang wala namang sinasabi na perpetual ito. Class, kung kanina yung weighted average mo ay simple average, pag periodic, under a perpetual inventory system, moving average yon. Bakit? Kasi sa kada galaw ng mga purchases mo, kada galaw ng inventory mo, nagbabago-bago yung presyo ng mga inventories in in a market where the prices are fluctuating rapidly. So, moving average, kada bili mo, kailangan mong i-account magkano yung average na ng mga yun. Okay? So, pakita ko yung solution para makita ninyo yung difference. Kanina, tinotal natin yung 100, yung 300, yung 200. Dito, anong gagawin mo? Beginning mo, 100. February mo, purchases, 300. Magkano na yun? E di, meron ka ng 400. Magkano total nito? 1,500 at saka 5,400. E di, meron kang 6,900. Sa February 7, 6,900 divided by 400, meron ka nitong 17.25. Ito yung moving average mo as of February 7. So that kung meron kang binenta noong February 12, ang cost of goods sold mo ay nakabase ngayon dito sa 17.25. Samantalang kanina sa periodic, since hindi mo naman ina-account yung inventory mo kada bentahan, sa dulo ka na nag-a-account magkano yung ending inventory ko. O, pero dito, kailangan mong i-identify kasi not only you are monitoring your inventories, but you are also accounting for the cost of goods sold. May entry ka aside sa sales, sa debit AR or debit cash credit sales. You also need to debit inventories or cost of goods sold and credit merchandise inventory. So, kailangan mo malaman, as of February 7, magkano yung unit cost ko para kung sakaling yung sumunod na transaction ko affecting inventory ay sales, malalaman ko magkano yung gagamitin ko in accounting for the cost of goods sold. Or, in the case of a manufacturing concern, magkano yung raw material issued in the production na ililipat ko sa work in process inventory. So in this case, yung sales ko, 320 times 17.25, edi ito yun, 5,520. Okay? Oh, take note ha. Correct lang natin kasi pinick up ko yung sa solution manual kung saan ko ito kinuha. Hindi po ito 1150 ha. Tanggalin lamang po natin ito. This should be, ayan, yung ating amount na 17.25 o 17.25 times 320, you will arrive at this amount, 5,520. Baka lang magtaka kayo, sir, mali naman, 3,000 something lang yung 320 times 1150. Okay? O, by February 21, meron kang additional purchases. Okay, siya nga pala, as after February 12 sale, no? Kung 400 yung available for sale mo, nagbenta ka ng 320, ending inventory mo dito in terms of units ay 80. Tapos, 69 minus 5,520, o ang ending inventory mo dyan ay 1,380. Di ba? February 21, meron kang additional purchases, 200 units. Nabili mo ng 21. So, additional 4,200 kayo ngayon. O, kung ang tinatanong ay ending inventory, eto siya, 5,580, which is letter C in this case. Kung maraming transactions yan, mas matrabaho po ang moving average. Dito, ilang example lang naman yan, pero kung ang daming transactions, no, different days. O syempre, matrabaho yan kung mano-mano mo siya gagawin. Pero kasi ang katapat ng mga perpetual inventory system ay may mga inventory sa mga accounting systems, no, merong tracking. Meron po tayong ginagamit na software or system to account for the inventory. So automatic po ito i-compute sa system. Hindi po ito mamanu-manuhin gagawin. Pero minamanual natin yan for classroom purposes para ma-appreciate po natin paano talaga ito ginagawa. Paano yung underlying computations nito. Okay? So, I hope we are clear with that. Alright? Sige. Let me know ha if you have any questions. Okay. Oh, before we move on to question number 10, pakita ko lamang po yung PowerPoint sorry, Excel file. Kanina pa ako PowerPoint. Ayan, while ang sinagot lamang po natin doon ay dalawang average, average perpetual, at saka yung una, average periodic, no? Pag FIFO class, tignan ninyo ito ha. In FIFO, whether periodic or perpetual, parehas lamang po yung kakalabasan na amount. Like in this case, no? Tignan po ninyo, i-revisit nyo po itong video lecture ko dito. Sa FIFO perpetual at saka sa FIFO periodic, ang ending inventory mo ay kaparehas lamang po. Okay? Like in this case, this is FIFO perpetual, moving average, no? So your ending inventory which is on the no, right side, 70,000. Ito yung cost of goods sold mo, 50. Pag nag-FIFO periodic ka, based on this computation, ang ending inventory mo 70,000, yung cost of goods sold mo 50,000, the same. Okay? So this is what's good in FIFO, no? Whether periodic or perpetual, parehas lamang po yung kakalabasan. Pero pag FIFO kasi, first in, first out. Yung mga unang inventories na binili mo, yun yung unang inventory na ibebenta. So that yung natitira sa ending inventory mo ay mga recent purchases. At i-multiply mo based doon sa magkano yung kanilang purchase price nung binili mo yun yung value ng ending inventory. Kaya tignan ninyo, may mga araw-araw ito. Anyway, hindi ko na po ito elaborate because you can just check my video lectures on this one para ma-explain po ito sa inyo in details para hindi naman dumodoble yung explanation natin. Okay? So, kindly revisit this material that I shared to you. If you are my actual student watching this. Okay. Let us proceed to our questions. So may representative po tayo no for the cost formulas. FIFO, silipin po ninyo yung binigay kong additional lecture or yung mga other materials ko. Let's answer question number 10. Question number 10 and also the next question no sa inventory cost measurement using the lower of cost and net realizable value. Ang sabi sa atin ng standard, no, subsequently, you measure the inventory either at the lower of cost or net realizable value. Ibig sabihin, compare mo yung cost, compare mo sa NRV, whichever is lower, yun yung gagamitin mo. Pero we account it for each individual types of inventory. Tignan po ninyo ito. Sa question number 10. Meron kang apat na klasing produkto. Product A, Product B, Product C, Product D. Okay? Ito yung kanilang cost. Tapos, ito naman is your NRV. Anong sabi natin sa past 2? The net realizable value is the difference between the estimated selling price less estimated cost to complete or estimated cost to dispose. So in this case, you need to get the difference of 120 and 15. Compare mo sa 102. Ito naman 60 minus 18. Compare mo sa 45. 30 minus 8. Compare mo sa 24. And 15 minus 10. Compare mo sa 9. Whichever is lower, yun yung unit cost. Tapos multiply mo dito sa number of units. Okay? So if you do that, comparison, ito po yung kakalabasan natin. Ayan. 120 minus 15, 105. 60 minus 18, 42. 30 minus 8, 22. 15 minus 5, 10. Oh, 102 versus 105. This is the lower amount. Sa B, this is the lower amount. Sa C, this is the lower amount. Sa D, this is the lower amount. multiply nyo dito sa number of units, okay, then you will arrive at the balances below, which is, kita nyo ba? Ito, 408,000, 252,000, 121,000, and 64,800. Total nyo po itong apat. Okay? Oh, meron ka ngayong 845,800. Okay? So, ito po yung ating sagot for question number 10. Ayan. So, that's the application of the lower of cost and net realizable value. Okay? Next, another application ng ating NRV, no? Tignan po ninyo ito. Meron kang beginning inventory. 1.4 million January 1. Okay? Meron kang purchases during the year, 6.6. Pag pinagsama mo itong dalawa, 1.4 plus 6.6, edi meron kang 8 million. Tama ba? Ito yung available for sale, no? In terms of the cost, goods available for sale. Meron kang ending inventory at cost. Meron kang ending inventory at net realizable value. Anong gagamitin mo dyan? Ano sabi natin? Okay? Gamitin natin yung lower amount. So, yung lower amount ko dapat ay 1 million compared sa 1.2. Oh, anong additional information? Prior to 2019 daw, the application of the LCNRV never produced a write-down in the company's inventory to an amount below cost. So, first time pa lang na yung NRV mo ay mas mababa sa cost. Pag yung NRV ay mas mababa sa cost, we need to write down. That will be treated as a loss on the part of the company and then a corresponding credit to inventory. Unless you have, ano no, you are using allowance method, di gamitin mo credit allowance for inventory write down. But it has the same effect when the balance sheet is presented, the inventory is recorded at the net amount. Okay? O, ang tanong dito, magkano daw yung cost of goods sold? Kasi given yung inventory mo, 1 million ba pipiliin mo? O, magkano daw yung cost of goods sold mo? If the company applies the LCNRV using the allowance method. Ayan, this is actually a good question. Sir, automatic ba na 7 million ang gagamitin ko dyan? Or what? O, class, paano yon? Cost of goods sold, pero using the allowance method, pakita ko sa inyo yung sagot ha. Tama, di ba? 8 million. Sir, bakit ang ginamit ko dito ay ang inventory ko 1.2? Why? Kasi class, when we use the allowance method, we retain the cost in the balance sheet. Okay? Pero meron ka nga lang balanse na allowance for what? Inventory write-down. But you are using this amount in the books, yung inventory mo. So therefore, ang ating cost of goods sold ay 6.8 million. Okay? If you use the net method, edi 7 million ang iyong net realizable value. Sorry, 7 million ang iyong cost of goods sold. Sir, magkaiba ba? Yes, magkaiba in this case because the cost of goods sold is recognized at 6.8, meron kang loss, no? Nandoon sa baba for the 200,000. Okay, it was presented separately. Bakit? Kasi nga na-record mo doon sa allowance account, allowance for inventory write down, hindi mo credit diretso sa inventory. So 1.2 yung gagamitin mo, pero yung inventory loss mo wala sa cost of goods sold, nandoon sa baba, under your other expenses. Okay? Nakukuha ba? Visualize ninyo class ha. Try to process the thought in your minds. Okay? Sige. So, yan po ano. And let me hold muna yung recording. Hanggang dito muna tayo kasi we have a wonderful actually topic on purchase commitment and mas gusto ko na bigyan yan ng separate recording. So we limit our recording sa cost formula and then dito sa measurement at the LCNRV. Okay? So, dyan muna tayo. But let me know ha if you have any questions. Maraming salamat po. I'll see you ASAP. Okay? Sige. Thank you and bye-bye.